Okay, I've got a bit of a come to a bit of a brick wall. It's not a project breaker, um, but these are all of the elements that I've got for this one side of the undercarriage. There's a lot, a lot of elements there, loads of empties. Um, I've tried to do an export to um, to DCS World, but every time I do it, Blender crashes. So there's a problem with my model somewhere. You see how long this is taking. If I click it now, it will just show a blue circle timer, and come up here eventually it'll say not responding. I'm just going to restart Blender while this is dying. So somewhere in here, one of these elements, or maybe multiple elements, are not exporting properly, and they're causing Blender to crash. I have been working on this for a couple of nights now, and it's kind of screwed up all of the. Let's just make sure that you can see this on OBS. There we go. Yeah. So one or multiple elements here is causing Blender export to crash. I don't know what it is. I've gone through each of the elements and checked this standard thing. Checked that it's a quaternion, it's using quaternion rotation on every single one of these. I've made sure that they've got a valid UV unwrap. I've also made sure they've got a valid texture, and then I've gone from that, I've gone to Blender render and made sure they've got a valid texture using the Blender render engine as well, because if there's no valid texture in this, then it won't export. So I'm at a miss at the moment as to what's causing the failure, and I don't know how long it's going to take to debug. I could be lucky and I could find it straight away, but it could take me like a good couple of days. The fear is after applying, after checking over textures, checking over UVs, that I'm gonna have to use process of elimination to find out which element is causing it. Now, what I mean by that is I'll take a let me open up a new save as main gear 2 and save it as that. Right, so I don't screw up the original. So what it'll be a question of doing is basically grabbing everything, say grab everything in here, except for the actual wings bar. In fact, what I'll do, I'll hide that and then do select all, and then delete it, and then try and export that. Bang, that exports straight away. So I know the problem is below that. I can just quickly do Control and Z and get everything back. So now I can get Friday tomorrow. Now I could do this as well. I just unselect everything. I'm pretty sure it won't be an empty that's causing the crash. So unhide everything, select it all, delete, press X to delete, file, export, bang, that exports. So what's the chances that I can solve this in a timely manner? Let's try down to there, and then I'll know, because these are all new elements that I've made. So it'd be nice if it could be something as simple as there might be some duplicate vertices, like vertices, two vertices in the same place. It could be vertices that are loose. There's all sorts of things it could be. So it's just a process of eliminating which actual one it is. So let's try this now. Let's delete all of those and do a export DCS World main gear. Whoa, so none of these are at fault. In fact, I'll just make sure it's not doing anything crazy like not exporting them because I haven't shown them. I don't think it works like that. Yeah, so we're getting somewhere. Oh, no, pressing the wrong button. So let's move down. Doubt it's this animation, but I could be surprised. Let's hide those as well. Ooh, don't want to do export. I never, sorry, import. I never use import. It's just not worth the hassle. Ooh. So it's crashed. It's crashed here, and that was not far down. So let's fire up another Blender window. Start close these down and go away. Microsoft will never help me. Okay, so we got down to here. So it's possible that the problem is in this slot here, but we checked that. That's, I mean, these empties shouldn't have textures. It's got an argument for the rotation. Yeah, there's just rotation. There's no relocation. So which one of these four is causing the problem? Main pivot stack end. See, these are all that change. Oh, that's because I choose something else. Same scale, all scaled to 1, no rotation, quaterniums. There's nothing set special in there. There's no constraints, no physics. Rotation, it's all fine. So what is causing this? Right, so I'm pretty sure it's one of these four. So let's take it from this one. Let's just include the top one, which has got the animation in. So select all those, X to delete, and let's try and export it. Ooh, that worked. That's weird. So, Control Z. Let's get rid of the next empty. Actually, let's see where they both are. That is, they're both in the same location. They've both got the same center point. Both got positive scale. But let's get rid of the rest. Oops, not that one. That one. while I've been trying to work this out, I've messed up all of the textures and I've overwritten the files as well, so I'm going to have to do all of the textures for the wheels again, which is a bit of a shame, but I should have stuck to my guns and not started texturing too early. Right, so let me show that back so we don't select it. So let's get rid of that. A, X, delete, file, export, DCS World. Still exporting. So now we're down to these elements here. So maybe I'd be surprised. I suppose it could. It's got to be in this one then. No. So we're down to axle R, the right hand axle. So if I do an export now, this should probably crash. Yeah. Right, let me just bring. I'm still quite noob with OBS. There we go. So let's have a quick check of some of these elements. What I'll do is I'll first check the mesh for duplicate verts. So we do that by removing doubles. None. The next thing to do is check that there's no loose geometry. None. So all is good there. We'll try the break block even. So mesh, vertices, remove doubles, none, mesh, clean up, loose geometry, nothing, break lines, nothing, let's try this one. This one was a bit of a crappy shape anyway, and there were some odd vertices in there. Now 20 edges, so let's just 10, we want verts, 12 verts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so there's the correct amount of verts, so this should produce nothing, yeah, and there won't be any loose geometry, I wouldn't have thought. Nope. And then the lever, this element up here, and this one's got an animation as well, so we just double check that, yep, we're definitely in quaterniums, we've definitely got UV, we've definitely got a texture. Nothing. I mean, this might not be the problem. It's just one of the things that I can check. Now this has got 3 objects in one, then the meshes are not attached to each other. So what I mean by that is, if I select that this bolt, nut, and then this nut are independent. Well, they're not independent; they're part of the same object, but the meshes aren't connected to that one. But it all shows up nice in the UV editor, so there shouldn't be any problem there. Let's check, clean up, delete loose. Nope. We've checked that one. Nope. I really, actually thinking about it, don't think it could be doubles, because it would have given a new UV unwrap if there was doubles. So it would have probably, even with doubles, it still would export. The only problem would be is if you created doubles and you hadn't UV wrapped some of the doubles. This was a bit of a crap shape as well. Oh, look, 2 edges gone. So select all of that. Let's just make sure there's no doubles. Remove doubles. No, no doubles. So then we get down to this rotation stack, which is a whole set of empties again. I'm pretty sure I did earlier. I can't remember 100%, but I feel like I have exported it to DCS World. But because I've removed those out of this, those 2 rogue edges, I'm going to save this as number 3. I'm going to cross my fingers really hard, so hard that they are going to bleed, and then I'm going to try and export. Really crossing my fingers hard, and the pain was worth nothing. But we found a problem. I have found a problem. So that means there could be other problems as well. So I haven't been as thorough. So now I need to be more thorough. So open blend 3. So we're down to here. Just checking the wheel rotation stack. It would be interesting to see if I hide all of this now up to here, because I've checked further things on those elements. If I do that now and just basically delete everything from the wheel, let's try exporting that. Whoa, so that's fixed up to here. That's brilliant. I'm pleased now. Pleased we're getting somewhere. So I don't think it's these empties. Let me just get rid of any selections there to expand this back out. As explained before, I need all of these spacer empties. This all explained why in a previous video. Let me just try and hide these empties and just select the remaining elements and get rid of them. File, export. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Wow. Good job I didn't save it. was it? Shape. Have I started the wrong blender? Oh no, 278, that's fine. Oh, I know what I'm trying to do. I'm doing this bad thing. What I want to do is open recent, not try and export what I've done. So, right, where were we? We were all the way down here. So something here. Was it in this wheel rotation stack? Let's make sure we've got nothing selected and let's get all of this hidden. And I'm going to save it because we've got everything. Everything's still attached, it's just hidden. Just get rid of these again, and actually I'm going to keep that one, I'm going to hide that one. So let's get rid of everything else. No, get rid of everything else. File, export. Interesting. Just check that I saved the, I think it was this one, was it? It was one of these. This one. Did this one have the extra faces? My memory is just awful. There's probably hotkeys for these methods. Oh, it was this one, I remember the shape now. I remember saying it had an awful shape. So, it seems that this is the offending, potentially an offending element that is causing the export to fail. So if I get rid of all of that, file, export, DCS World, and it exports. But if I undo that and I get rid of that one too. Oh, sorry, don't get rid of it, keep that one. And then do an export. It fails miserably. So, what is it about that empty? What is it? It's this one. So, it's got no physics, it's got no texture. It's nothing particularly set for DCS, like any of the connectors or LOD routes. There's something else I've got to cover. LOD routes. It's quaternions. The rotation, can't see how the rotation would cause a failure, so I'm not going to do anything about that. There's no duplicates or dupliverts or anything. This can only be, is it potentially this animation? I mean, it could still be that there's something further down here. So what I'll do is I'll delete this. So quaternium scale. Let's clear the animation data. Let's hide that. Select everything else. Delete it. Oh, I've just checked on the stream and you can't see what I'm bloody doing. It's because I've got that one closed. Sorry about this. I'm a proper noob when it comes to streaming. So what I did there was, let's just undo it. And the animation. So this is the element that's failing. Everything above this exports, but if I delete everything from here downwards, it exports. If I leave this empty in, it doesn't export. I've checked the quaterniums. You can check that here in the transform part of the options of this view, or they're also here in the object data. There's no constraints. It's just plain axis. There's no LOD roots, no connector set. There's no texture. Nothing. And there's no physics. So the only thing I can think of is that it's this animation. So I've deleted that. And then what I'm going to do, what I did was I hid it, selected all, deleted it. Let's try and export now. And it works. So 2 steps back. Let's bring the animation back. So I've got all of these objects now. Let's just delete the, clear the animation data and do an export with all of these objects. If this exports, there's no further problems. It's just that animation needs redoing. Nope, there's a further problem. Right, I'm going to sign off now because my family are home, but I'll carry on debugging it in a bit. Thanks for watching up to now.